And now, the first ever LEOG.
LEOG? Oh, right.
Oh, okay.
The League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen.
That is the title we have agreed on. It's going to be me and Leon, and we're going to have a guest every week. And our first guest is the amazing Bo.
Yes.
Our special guest is our friend Jason, a local filmmaker and just an all-around decent type of fellow.
The lovely Allison, who is not only a hardcore geek girl, but she's actually got a sense of humor, which is pretty rare for a woman, you got to admit.
Yeah. We have our first one that wasn't somebody we knew beforehand.
Right.
And that's Jason F. Our friend Grant, because these douchebags don't actually watch Lost. This is Mary, who's a very close friend of all of ours. Our guest is Greg, who's a good friend of yours and mine.
Greg is possibly our music director, perhaps. Greg is here to discuss music because he is a musician supreme.
We're playing tonight from a comic book store in Round Rock called Rogues Gallery, and we have the owner of said comic book store.
Hi, that'd be me. I'm Randy.
Hi, this is Randy.
I'm going to plug Randy since.
Wait a minute.
That's after the show.
We've got Kristen Hogan with us.
We got a girl.
A girl. Actually
Pretty girl,
came
too.
to our
She's
table.
probably the prettiest girl at this show.
Yeah, very well could be.
And speaking of congealed animal fats, we're going to talk about me.
Yes, that's who is a chef, Kayla Cromer, maker of the world-famous hamburger bed.
We have Kat here, who you guys don't know Kat, but at some point we'll post the pictures of her as the Baroness, and then you'll all you will get tons of prison pen pals. Don't worry about it.
Fantastic.
We'll be sure to put your Twitter account address on
Okay.
there. So.
Yeah.
And also Jason.
And we've got Fungus Monkey, the beloved Fungus Monkey, who starts more fights in our forums than anyone else.
Do I?
No, you don't.
Okay. I'm Harry.
I thought we'd all agreed to call you Harris.
Yeah, are you going by Harry?
Dude,
I was just giving a description.
Okay, Cyrus introduced you to me. He said, here's my good friend Harry. Well, it's Harris, but he goes by Harry. And when I came to you and said like, oh, hey, Harry, or do you prefer Harris? You were like, yes, Harris. You said it in a way almost like, don't ever call me Harry. I will spit at you if you call me Harry.
I call him Grant 2.0.
Wow.
That's funny you would say that.
I was going to say, I'm the bug fix?
Because everybody confuses the two of you.
I will fight you.
Don't fight me. Fight the Spildos. They're the one like, well,
I don't sound a
Jason
damn
made
thing
a
like
stupid
him.
point back then, and you have to come in and go like, I wasn't even on that podcast, so nah.
God damn it. Spill members, seriously. God, I just don't even have the urge to do it anymore.
I mean, there are enough drunken Irishmen in the world that nobody should be confusing them anymore.
God damn it! Calling us drunk is a damn stereotype, and I will beat anyone who tells
that
me
was Harris.
I thought we agreed not to do any more drunken Irish. Oh, no, wait, we totally
Although-
never did that.
Yeah, at this point, the LEOG is a drunken Irish joke.
Yeah, although-
I have about 3 jokes in my contract per episode.
And Jason has dressed the part for the evening, so
There's a lovely tam o' shanter it is you'll be wearing.
And fuck you, too.
He's dressed like a newsie about to go play some stickball.
It's funny, just looking at you, I want to fight you.
No, actually, Jason is dressed up like the mascot of Notre Dame University tonight.
I don't know what that is.
Of course you don't.
of course you know.
No. He just joined a pyramid scheme to sell Irish Spring.
It actually it is a drunk-looking leprechaun with his fists up, which nobody complains about that. Everybody's like, "Ray, you can't call them the Redskins," and you got to change the Atlanta Braves. Oh yeah, you're a drunken Nicky McMick. That's fine.
Well, you did notice they still call the Redskins.
Well, actually, Jason, if you notice, he dressed to match his iPhone. It's very...
What? What?
I was watching because it's almost become a part of him. His entire color coordination is just to match his phone.
It's true, you're accessorized.
I'm sorry, this LEOG has been postponed because of mass stabbing.
God just reached out and killed 2 brothers, man.
Yes, he
Lord.
Man, you know what? I'm almost sad you're bringing that up. Because, I mean, I know you're talking about the death of Isaac Hayes.
Leon, you were the first person I thought of, seriously.
Well, to be honest, like, when celebrities die, I'm like, well, yeah, that's sad and all, but I didn't know that guy. And it's not like I was friends with Isaac Hayes, but he really was, like, my hero, and I did get to meet him once. And, I am deeply saddened by, the surprise of his death.
I mean, I had no idea that he meant so much to so many people other than being the guy who did the Shaft theme for a long time. I mean, I didn't know. I was listening to the Violent Femmes. What the fuck did I know? You know, I mean, I had no idea what soul or R&B was or any of that until just recently. And you know, I mean, you wrote, Leon, a great article for Spill about his death that filled in a lot of stuff.
It was good. Yeah, your article was good. Check it out.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I mean, you know, that soundtrack, that theme to Shaft, was important in ways that nobody understands. Just because, like, soundtracks were all done mostly with classical music, and here he came with this you know, very funky, very soulful soundtrack that won Grammys and an Oscar. First one to ever win an Oscar.
It was definitely one of the best performances at the Oscars ever.
Right.
I mean, he rose up and he was like covered in gold chains and like, you know, surrounded by all the keyboards and synthesizers, and it was incredible.
And it changed porno music forever.
It did.
Yes, somebody definitely in Silicon, or somebody in the Valley definitely did see that and go, man, if only we could put people fucking to that music. We could sell millions.
Well, people are already doing it anyway.
If we could just film them.
Now white people get to fuck too. The only reason I don't talk like this all the time is because of the little bit of soul that creeped into me from all the porn I've seen. For those who somehow haven't discovered it yet, we recently started a new League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen group. Apologies to Joseph, who was running the previous one, which is still there and still great for discussions about the LEOGs. But the one we're doing is just so we can have a department to talk directly with the fans on there.
Yeah, I felt bad. I didn't want to subvert.
Cyrus.
I didn't want to subvert his thing. So.
You hurt his feelings, didn't you?
I did hurt his feelings, and I apologized to him at length about it.
Well, I think it's important that we treat our fans with respect. We're sorry about that, Jeffrey. Joseph? Oh, dude, whatever.
Whatever the little bastard's name is. Thanks
the
for
little
listening.
whiny prick it is.
Wow.
They've made another form besides mine.
Oh, that was offsides. So, speaking of recommending comics, I got a little anecdote that I've been meaning to bring up now. A couple of years ago, Leon, you don't even know this. You probably don't even remember this.
Uh-oh.
We're hanging out at the bar.
Dude, I did not know she was your girlfriend. I swear to God.
Okay, well, you still offended one of her best friends.
Damn it.
Yeah. It was right around the time you first met Lisa and all of her friends.
Yes.
And we were talking about comic books, as we always are.
Yeah,
and
we do all the time, 24/7.
This one girl contributed, and she said, "Oh, well, I really like ElfQuest." And Leon said, "Well, yeah, you know, that's the one that girls usually read."
Oh man. Leon, shut her the fuck down.
She's like rabid feminist. She got really offended like that. Lisa and I were talking about this the other night, and I was like, well, it's true.
Let me tell you people something. A feminist bookstore is the only bookstore without a humor section.
Oh, man. I would like to say right now, so get this out of the way, the views of Leon do not necessarily reflect those of LEOG.
No. They secretly do. You guys just won't step up and admit it.
I'm stepping up. I'm right there with
I'm
you.
stepping up right here and saying I have an autographed copy of ElfQuest #1, so suck it.
He traded his dick for it.
Well,
I was really into the series.
We are not prejudiced against gay people being in the LEOG.
There we go.
Falls around us, and the moon says it's getting late. On and on, the steps in time, we come to the edge of the lake.
And then Moonlight, which was a solid little vampire show that came out last year. It only lasted one season, unfortunately.
Yeah,
you know what? I
wanted
bet
to
you the
watch
Chillers.
it.
I bet the Chillers Channel will show a marathon one Saturday.
Yeah, maybe, and it's really worth your time. I mean, the guy, I wasn't a huge fan of the main actor playing the vampire, but he was passable. But almost everybody else.
Is that Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis.
Moonlighting.
Oh, really?
Oh, Grant.
I was with you, Grant.
No more
Happy
daytime
birthday.
whiskey for Grant.
Yeah. I like this. Grant gets to say all the things that I think, maybe not. And he gets to show me, like, see, this is what would have happened if you'd done that. And I go like, oh, okay, cool.
But object lesson.
Everyone would have been like, "Oh, that's awesome!" if you said it. Like, yeah, remember that joke that Leon made?
was
It was like
awesome.
Bruce Willis. That was great. And I'm like, Bruce Willis, like, shut the fuck up, Grant.
Happy birthday, but shut
You're
the
doing
fuck up.
it to yourself.
I know.
It's like you don't have to do it to yourself, Grant.
I know the role I play on this show.
Has anyone else noticed the big change here in Fish? The one thing that you can really put your
I can
finger
talk
on?
and I won't stop talking.
Yeah.
Have y'all listened to the
What the
C&B
hell's going
podcast? I
on?
pretty much hijacked their podcast. Like, blah, 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 blah. I can't stop talking.
That's kind of funny because, like, you know, he's like, obviously you've been listening to our podcast because you've been studying Bo's technique of just keep talking till the other guy stops.
No, that's how I also get noticed at college.
Yeah.
It's okay, I'll let you finish. No. This chick's mine.
Wow.
See,
Good for you.
I told you guys he was going to come back a Jedi.
Yeah.
You can already begin to see it.
Yeah, already see
And
the
he's
beginning
been,
signs.
2.5 months already?
Yeah.
This is where you are?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
It's already starting to show. That's
Yeah.
true.
It's going to be
The next time I come back, I'll just be like,
Jason
oh,
Fisher
I have
and
to-
the LEOG at some point.
No, I'm probably not even that. It's just going to be, oh, God, do I really have to go
Fish
back
and
to
Friends?
that stupid goddamn podcast?
Why
I
did
mean,
ever
it's very
agree?
sweet of them to pity me, but not anymore.
We'll all be wearing our Jason Fisher shirts and our Jason Fisher fan club and be like, is he going to show up for the podcast or
Yeah,
not?
and the other Jason will be just known as Murph.
Old Murph in the corner. 1%
Sorry, we already know who the Jason is in this podcast.
The big thing about this is that to pay for this $500,000, the hotels aren't really giving it up. They're just jacking up their rates.
Awesome.
For all, the rest
Of course
of us.
they are, yeah.
Yeah.
And what does Comic-Con care? They don't care because they're the man. Fuck
I mean,
them.
To be fair to the Comic-Con people, they put on this huge show and they don't even make that much of a profit off of it.
Yeah.
Like they aren't good enough businessmen to figure it out. Because I guarantee somebody else could come in and figure out how to make shitloads of money.
But they
off
get
of it.
beat up by businessmen sometimes.
Yeah, they did try to come up with a business plan, but a bunch of jocks came and threw it on the top of the hotel, and they never got it done again.
I've already stopped reading Spider-Man.
Yeah, I have too.
I mean, really, I have completely divorced myself from Spider-Man at this point.
Yeah, I don't read it at all.
I'm even done with Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, me too. I'm not reading any of it. I mean, I read the Avengers and he pops up in the Avengers.
Right.
That's fine. But yeah, no, I got no interest in that whole book. And people are like, but you know what, Mark Waid and stuff are writing. There have been some good issues. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I have taken a look at what's going on, and the new villains, they're fucking dumb. The new setup is really dumb and annoying. You know, the whole like, hey, it's like he's back in college. It's the swinging Peter Parker.
Yeah, I'm not getting back on this ride
Fail.
just for them to
yeah.
to reboot the Matrix again.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
they double down on the Red Hulk shit now too.
Oh, you can get 2 Hulks with Swiss cheese and bacon between them?
Exactly. Well played, sir. Well played.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I hate the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I only brought this up for you because
And I hope
Allison
that
wants
it
to
dies.
talk about how much she hates the Super Bowl.
I hate the Super Bowl. I hate football. I hate football. There's no more pointless a human endeavor that just sucks the economy than football.
What about a Coco?
Win.
To be fair, a Coco
win.
doesn't kill nearly as many people as football does.
No.
It comes close, though.
To be fair, also, a Coco isn't always bad. Sometimes it's Leon and I on it.
All right, Allison, this is why you should love the Super Bowl.
Okay, try me, but no.
It's a simple, there's one simple reason.
It's a crypto-fascist metaphor for nuclear war.
It's the last game of the season.
Okay, but that's why I should celebrate the day after the Super Bowl, not the Super Bowl itself, which is, I'm sorry, just the most futile.
People die all the time.
I wish they'd die. I wish that, like, at
You
the
mean
end
like
of the
feudal,
Super
like,
Bowl, we
as in like having like
sacrificed
a
the
feudal
losing
system
team
with a king and lords?
on sharpened Asheroth poles. I mean, that would would make it an interesting thing to watch. I would totally tune in because which festively costumed group of.
I actually do like to watch a football game occasionally, but I absolutely fucking agree with her. That sounds so awesome.
Thank you, and I'm sorry, as manly as it's supposed to be. I mean, come on, it's dudes in festive spandex rolling around on each other. So
that's comic books, which is what we talk about every week.
No. Comic books. There's a product that is, goes into perpetuity. Football is pointless to the extreme.
Oh, well then that's like LEOG. Never mind.
Well, I'm not a sports person at all, and usually I don't give two shits about the Super Bowl.
But
the Saints being in it, I just got to get behind them getting money back into the city again.
Thank you, Kristen. Someone with some goddamn sense in this place.
Fucking need it. New Orleans is still picking up. It still needs money. It still needs tourism. And if you're going to drive into New Orleans to watch the Super Bowl with a million other crazy-ass fans, you're helping our city out.
And New Orleans has had Haiti stealing all its thunder. So it's got to have something to bring the attention back around.
Oh, my God.
I would say jazz and food before fucking football.
And voodoo. Don't forget voodoo.
Thank you.
Can't get enough of that.
I'm going to go get a shot of whiskey so I can have this conversation.
I've never been to New Orleans. The mayor keeps sending me postcards, but I haven't made it over there yet.
What? We've got to take the fresh meat to New Orleans.
I know.
Tape me to the hood of the car with a bottle of
Randy's
scotch.
never been to New Orleans. Grant's never been to Vegas.
You've been to New Orleans? Been to New Orleans? You're like whiter than I am. Come on.
Jason not being in New Orleans is like the Among Us never having gone to the wasteland. What the
Agreed.
fuck?
Yeah. We got to get you over there, man.
Shit.
It's a 7-hour ride. It's super easy. There's so many places we could stay at.
There's no public intoxication container law. No, you can just drink
open
in the
container?
streets.
No, you can
Fuck
walk
open
in.
container. You can get a drink in a
to-go
bar,
cup.
walk outside with it, and go to another fucking bar.
With your other drink, and you're like, let me just finish this one up. All right, give me a new one.
Oh, and you know when last call is? The end of fucking time.
Yeah. You go in there and you're like, yeah, what's your special today? Oh, it's 5 shots of whiskey and a big gulp for $5. And that's seriously. You're like,
Boobies.
And
boobies like mad.
The bar inside the Harris Casino looks like the Warp Core reactor. It's awesome.
Whoa.
Jason's crying a little. It's awesome.
He's speechless.
Can you hear my lip quivering?
I hear your liver quivering. I mean, you'd actually get there and not be special anymore. Maybe you wouldn't like it.
Actually, it's not quivering. It's actually palpitating and trying to escape his body.
Actually, right now my liver's just like, well, fuck.
It's been a good ride.
Running away in terror.
I want to go. Okay. So at like 6 a.m, I could just like wander into a bar and order, hey, I want a glass of Everclear.
Yes.
Okay, look, let me tell you how hardcore the bars are. There was one bar during Katrina that never fucking closed. It stayed
During
on
the hurricane.
through the worst of the hurricane. They're like, we're not fucking closing. That's how hardcore the bars are.
Drink
down
while
there.
the city burns.
These motherfuckers are going to put my picture on the wall.
Yeah, day or night, you can drink and drink and drink and drink and drink.
Wow.
It doesn't close. It's 24 hours of alcohol.
But God, I feel like you guys just said, guess what? You're adopted, but here's your real dad 7 hours away. And guess what? He's Bruce fucking Wayne. Yeah, that's the thing, is that honestly, coming from the biggest prequel apologist in the LEOG, he made some awesome actors look like shit. I mean,
He made space look like shit.
I mean, yeah, Ewan McGregor, Liam Neeson, and Natalie Portman, and you made all of them look like they can't act their way out of a paper bag?
No, you're wrong, because Natalie Portman actually can't act her way out of a paper bag. She has the same kind of cloaking device that Winona Ryder was using for the last 2 decades.
What about
apparently while she was sleeping with some musician,
But she's
Natalie
great
Portman
at turning
stole
her
that
butt
and
toward
she's
the
gone
camera.
out.
Really?
That's
You
good.
really don't like Natalie Portman?
He doesn't.
I like her in the same way that I like Winona Ryder. I think that she's capable at times, but
What about
there's this idea that she's like very, very talented, and she's not.
I can't
fight you.
I couldn't disagree more.
I'm gonna marry her. We are gonna have babies, and we are gonna get married on a mountain.
She is,
Those babies are gonna beat you up.
She is no Anne Hathaway.
Is this a Star Wars thing or a Natalie Portman thing specifically?
You would have married the weird bride.
Is it just that she's Princess whatchamacallit?
No.
Okay.
I have wanted to have relations with her since I saw her in the. Wait, never mind.
And you took that.
If I had hands, I was about to give you a high five.
Has anyone seen Brothers yet?
Yeah,
Have you guys,
she's excellent in it.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
she really is.
I will take my statements back and stick them in a bag and maybe bring them out next year after I've seen Brothers. Because I do hear very good things about that.
Did you guys not see her in Bendham Like Beckett?
What?
That was
Keira Knightley.
That was her double.
That was Keira Knightley.
That was Keira Knightley.
That was the woman who played her.
Shut the
That
fuck up, you goddamn retard.
Man, what a
You
shit-eating
got
grin.
those
I
two
love
messed
that.
up? Keira Knightley and Natalie Portman?
But they're the same
Did you know
person
that they
in
played
Star
the
Wars.
same role? Yeah.
Okay, you know what?
Yeah, no, she's the
One of
double,
them's
and-
got a rack. One of them is built like fish. Okay.
Well, I don't know. Fish is kind of hot.
You know what? I have to admit,
Jesus.
Natalie Portman doesn't have that much of a rack. I don't know if you've ever seen
What?
her nude beach photos.
What? No, I have not.
Oh,
No.
I have seen
never
the
mind.
Hotel Chevalier, and I must disagree with you, sir. Unless they were using some incredibly clever camera angles that not only accentuated her form,
Yeah.
but defied the walls of physics.
You know, you're probably right. I think George Lucas probably took those pictures. And, yeah.
I don't want to sound
yeah.
like a eunuch here, but there gets a point where I'm like, you know what? Small breasts are just fine.
Oh, yeah.
You know, depends on everything in proportion. Just saying.
Boobs are great, girls. We like them all.
As long
We
as she does
really,
anal,
really
you
do.
can have the smallest tits you want.
Hey, I love Cyrus's boobs,
Lions,
but you know that's
Jason.
a
Boobs are
story
like,
for another
boobs
day.
are like beer. Sometimes I want like a $12 Belgian ale that I'm going to sip and like go, oh, this is great. It's so robust and huge. It's great. And sometimes I want a fucking Lone Star. And I'm
Wow.
just gonna go,
So basically, you're saying boobs are like your comments upon boobs. Sometimes they're like a small glass of alcohol that I can take my eyes and ears out and wash in, and sometimes they're like a giant drum of napalm that I want to cover my whole body with.
No, actually, I'm sorry. This has nothing to do with anything. I'm just writing this book called My Allegories About Beer. I'm going to start off with a TV show that is going to, everybody else is hoping that I don't do first, but fuck you. It's my podcast, Firefly, which is one of the best TV shows to come out this decade. I'm sorry. It was one lousy, unfinished season, and it changed the entire face of science fiction. It
Who
really
wrote and directed
did.
that?
I don't know, some dude.
Cool.
Oh wait, it was who are the guys who do
Josh Whedon?
who do no.
John Sweden?
It's the guys who do that show with the three witches, Charmed, isn't it?
Witches of Eastwick?
Yeah, I think it's just like that. That's like a rip off of everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is Eastwood. Nice.
Joss Whedon's just been ripping off Charmed for years.
I wasn't even gonna watch it. But I remember being on the toilet reading about it.
Spare us your visceral imagery.
And rather than dying like Elvis did, I saw it like, oh hey, it's
Hey,
my-
don't you dare. All right?
Yeah, you know he did die on the toilet. Right?
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
I didn't know if there was some Elvis fan conspiracy. there.
Let's treat it with some reverence. You sons of bitches.
That's right. I was at the Holy Porcelain Temple.
The man with the biggest ego in the world faked his death taking a shit. Sorry.
And he let Bruce Campbell take over.
I fucking hate you sometimes.
But
I hate you so hard right now.
What is this about this show? Is lost and found?
Fuck it,
or
it's
something?
Harris's turn.
No, it's not,
No.
because it's
Book.
fucking lost.
Yeah.
Wait, I lost my turn? What the fuck?
Please be quiet,
Grant,
Jason.
Grant, explain Lost for somebody who's never seen this.
All right. These people get
Who's
stranded
here
on
that
an
hasn't
island.
seen it at this point?
Yes, but we're not. He's not telling us. He's telling the people listening.
Yeah.
You do know we're recording this, right, Harris?
Son of a bitch!
I know everybody wasn't a huge fan of Watchmen, but I thought the Watchmen costume design was pretty damn strong.
Amazing, yeah.
Oh, I thought they sucked.
Yeah, no.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? The costumes too?
Yeah, I did. I thought.
Interesting.
I mean, for the time period it's supposed to be from, they were way too shiny, plasticky, and too Tim Burton Batmanish.
I can see
it
that.
just
I
did not
guess,
fit.
yeah. I just thought they captured the look pretty well as far as what it was supposed to look like.
Why are you looking at me like
Nothing.
that?
You just hate that movie so much. It's gotten to the point that it's almost kind of a cute.
You know what? It's funny because I don't hate the movie
has
overall.
Has your hatred like grown and blossomed? Because as I recall, I was the one that really hated it.
Well, he just said hate, but okay. Whereas you probably just totally despise it on every level. I hate just like lots of little tiny things about it. It's just like it's hard for me. Like I realize I can never like it, even though there's some things where I give it a pass. I go like, okay, that was all right.
I found if one concentrates enough, one can take the small fires of petty hatred and turn it into a blossoming, burning ember of true horrible hatred.
I see it as a delicious I see it as a lasagna that I know has ground glass cooked in it.
So you have to
Where
eat
if I put some in my mouth, I'm going to taste some great tomato sauce and oregano.
And then I'm going to shit bleeding and dying.
Exactly.
Wow, that's harsh, dude.
That was a crazy metaphor.
That's my thing.
Or maybe Hitler.
Hitler's glass lasagna.
Little chunks of Hitler.
It's like
inside.
lasagna made by Hitler.
You know it
It's
tastes
tasty
good.
and wonderful, but it was made by Hitler, dude.
So what are you gonna do? And he's like, so what did you think?
What did you think? It's vegetarian. No, I'm vegetarian.
Well, you know, here's Hitler. It was a really good lasagna. Here's the thing: did you have to kill all the Jews?
Yes, he had to kill him.
Mel Gibson told me it was a good idea.
Oh.
What do you do when he asks you whether or not it matters whether or not the lasagna is kosher? Is he trying to joke with me?
As Leon cleans up God knows what from the carpet right now. Who?
That's all right. That's covering up the vomit stain from this weekend. So.
Hey.
And she outs
Allison
herself.
apologized for that.
Shut up.
Stop calling Allison vomit stain. It's getting old.
No, that's true. It is completely one. And it's I think the moments that are like dirty and ugly make it shocking. But you know what? Go back and watch Snow White or something. There's some freaky shit in the earliest fairy tales.
Exactly.
Read the original Grimm's fairy
Yep.
tales. That's some fucked up shit. And this is not, it's just not cleaned up for little kids fairy tale. And that's exactly what it is. I think you nailed it in saying that this is indeed a fairy tale.
You know, it's funny.
I disagree. I think falling into
Really?
a-
You have something to say, bro?
I do. I really think that I don't know. I'm going out on a limb here and saying that falling into a pool of shit is not really with the fairy tale climb.
And I will agree that was the one moment
Okay.
I went,
I
what
know
the hell
there are
was
lots of
that?
moments. The one where he's being interviewed by the chief of police and being threatened with being incarcerated might take that away from the fairy tale mode.
But in an
the
American
thing is,
sense.
one of my best friends in the whole world lived in Bangalore, India for 3 years.
And
he came
now
back.
he's dead.
And he fell into a pool of shit and was interviewed by police.
He came back and saw Slumdog Millionaire. I swear to God, he's like, well, that's fine if you're looking at the Epcot Center in India.
Exactly. No, yeah.
He was like, that's like
Yeah.
India. He said that was like Disneyland compared to what India is really like.
It was India, directed by an English guy, and it was the fairy tale version, and it's weird because you can't fault it for being like Bollywood because it's nothing like Bollywood because Bollywood is all fantasy.
Did you really hate this film? I can't figure out why you would hate it. Like, it sounds like you hate it, and I cannot figure out why anyone would.
I don't hate it. I was just like, when it won the Best Oscar, Best Picture Oscar, I was like, really? Okay.
You know more than anyone to not take the Oscars seriously at all on that level, or let it affect your
you're absolutely
That is not even an argument.
You're absolutely right, but you
Kirk and Spock had to fight, and Kirk had to provoke him, and you have the
Dun,
gall
dun, dun,
to
dun,
say you
dun,
love
dun,
that girl.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to have triggered your Jean Parr.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
But
no.
Yeah, it's just like, you know,
Confort.
I'm not saying that. I'm just being like, you know, as far as even being Danny Boyle's best, not even fucking close. Danny Boyle's directed like, you know,
Trainspotting is
five,
his best.
at least,
Yeah,
at least 5 films that are way better than that. And I'm just like, you know, it does seem there's a little bit of like, oh, he went into this little ethnic community and he showed them a little fairy tale of them falling into the shite. And then he found his girlfriend after so many years.
And
it's
miraculously,
like,
that also describes my big fat Greek wedding.
Did they find a yes, which also sucked. Oh well, did they find a pot of gold on the train they were waiting for? I'm just wondering, because it seems to be a bit of a myth with it. And it would be great if they kissed at the very end and then the Indian gangsters, which no doubt run that fucking country, came up and said, oh, well, you found me, daughter, and now I'm going to fucking rip you apart with fucking camels.
Wait, why does everyone in India have an Irish accent?
Yeah. Where the hell did the camel?
Because I was looking to be exotic.
Because that's his one accent.
I'm sorry. We're going to put you into the Indian Sea and have you pulled apart by octopusi.
And now Bo's impression of
And
El
now-
Mariachi.
And now Kristen hates me.
Why does everybody in his movies fall into poo at some point?
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
Why is that gonna be like a theme of your
He
film?
does, yeah. Trainspotting is a
At
great movie,
moments.
but like the part of that I had to like see it again
Because
to get
Negroes
past
can't have
was
toilets.
him swimming in a
That's
toilet. I was
why,
like, that was
Greg.
that thing that almost made me leave the theater. I was like, dude, that guy is climbing into a
My
filthy
date
toilet.
almost threw up in the
I don't want to see that.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, but for some reason you're right. He wants to do poo, and that's you know what? The part.
But he doesn't. He used to be perfectly satisfied with murdering people and putting them in between the floorboards of Scottish flats. And that wasn't good enough for him.
Fighting as long as I don't see
Oh,
it.
and then he was like, now I'll do heroin and have dead babies. Oh,
I'm
but
the
that's not
sailing.
good enough. We need to go back to the colony that we raped and put them all in poo. Poo, I tell you. And if you don't like that, and if that don't earn me a Best Oscar, then you can all go fuck yourself.